All right, if you didn't guess, this is an Integra Type R. This is the 98. It's in championship white. If you've never seen one of these cars close up or even had the pleasure to drive one, you are definitely missing out. Absolutely a joy to drive, especially when you get this thing up in the RPMs. Now, it only makes 195 horsepower, but that's from a 1.8 naturally aspirated, high-revving B18 C5. Look at that. One of the best looking engines there is. Still one of my favorites. The next question is, why is it at LHT? Well, this one has a vibration and he wants to go through it and do all the maintenance and bring it up to spec. And any of the aftermarket parts, he wants it to go back to as stock as possible. We don't know a whole lot about this car. It runs really quiet. It's got a vibration and it's still running its factory mounts. It is a Canadian model, so there is no factory air conditioning. I looked at the mounts, they appear to be stock, but it vibrates and you can feel it in the car. I can kind of transmit some of that by putting the camera on the engine. This is idle. That's much more vibration than it should have. Look at the seats in this. Look how nice they are. Alcantara red stitching. This one is number 1014. And this is what the Type R came with, this extra nice interior. Even the door panel's got some of the material that matches the center of the seats. Look how nice this is. Let's get this in. I'm going to show you the list. This is the main list that we're going to go over and check it along the way. Clutch on flywheel. We don't know if it has a clutch on flywheel in there, if it's been replaced, if it's the original. It's got 160,000 kilometers, so we're assuming it's been changed, but that could be a culprit of the vibration too. If not, we're going to change it and eliminate that. Crank pulley, we're going to change that, as well as the power steering pulley and the alternator pulley. We're going to put an OEM airbox on it, manifold and cat. It has coilovers, but they're decent, so we're going to change the height and bring it close to stock. First thing we're going to do is the clutch, and we have to confirm that we have a wheel lock key. Wow, look at that. That's the original book. That sounded promising. Yes, just added this to the list also. There we go, here's the tires that are going on it. This just looks really odd to me. For one, it just looks kind of weird, but this, when this isn't curving with the wheel, it kind of looks like a fake. Well, it's probably not, but you're so used to tires having the right and curve around it. I used to make fun of Harbor Freight stuff, but if you haven't had a chance, the Icon line, it's very, very good. It's a weird size. It's like 9/16s or 7/16s or 14/38s or some stupid size that I don't have. It's too big for a 9 and too small for a 10. So I'm gonna use a crescent wrench, but a number 2 screwdriver right here works on those rotables. Watch this. That was one of the worst ones to get off because it was seized on with the dowels. The other one was right there. You see we got PB Blaster in there. Kept rocking it back and forth. Eventually it came loose. I was hoping to see no dowels because that would cause a vibration. It means that the transmission isn't lined up perfectly. Even though the bolts, some people think the bolts will line it up, they won't. They're not precise enough. The bolts actually have some wiggle room in here, so you need those dowels. And that's the dowel on the back. And there's the dowel on the front. You see how corroded it is. So I don't know what clutch that is.
I'd say by that color plastic that
yeah.
purpley blue in there.
So it's been obviously changed and all, so the flywheel doesn't have all the holes. I'm not sure if the Type R1 had 9 holes or just 6. This is the alternator with the underdrive pulley. And if you look at that, it's almost like the ribs flattened out. Either the anodizing is no good or the belt tension's been crazy tight. Also this too, this was the power steering pulley, which looking at that doesn't look like any different size to the regular power steering pulley.
It's a little bit off. I have the other one. I'm cleaning it in the sink.
Yeah, they're supposed to be larger.
Yeah, the original one's a hair larger than that one.
So that's supposed to be larger than the original to be an underdrive.
But when you put it on that guy,
so it's you do an underdrive and then an overdrive for the power steering.
I think you're just putting aluminum pulleys on at this point.
Without the harmonic balancer, there's a good chance of you shattering that oil pump. And it is powdered metal, if you didn't know that. SB Jeff that you see on the channel, he brought his Type R motor to us one time when the oil pump gear had shattered, and he had one of these pulleys on it. This is the rubber isolator right here between it. This is heavier and it's balanced. This obviously looks cool. You think it's going to be a good idea, but it's not. Don't run one of these on your B series. This was the flywheel that came out of the car, and as you see, somebody's like hit it with a whiz wheel. It's all zzz. We just spun it. We just put a shaft on here and spun it in the vise, and it has a little bit of a wobble to it. I'm hoping that is the reason why it's got a bad vibration. We're basically replacing the parts that need to be replaced, and hopefully that problem is going away. These are our pulleys right here. I'm going to take a picture of it so I can send them to him just so the customer can see it. These are all OEM Type R. This is hard to get. This is genuine Type R stuff. It means everything is balanced, everything is the correct size. So this is going on. This is going to go in a box and go in the bin. But anyway, that's what is going on here. It's cool to see the block off. This is for obviously the AC controls, the second fan and AC compressor and dryer and such. Just cool to see what Honda do. They make an actual proper clip to cover up that. Just looks so nice that way. It has HIDs in, which is this wiring right here. Everything looks good. We're not going to mess around with it. And right
Factory
here,
HID stuff.
yeah, we're not going to mess with that. There is our new power steering pulley. The crank pulley is on and torqued down. That is good. We're going to put the Type R manifold on here pretty soon. We have the Type R belts on order, on the two belts, power steering and alternator. Then we have to check out the mounts. This looks odd to me. If you've ever dealt with these, you never see this mount just have these pieces spinning. They're supposed to sit. There is a notch that lines up, which this doesn't even have. It has this cut out, but I remember being like a little notch that would line up, and it kind of sat like that. But it never did this. This is definitely aftermarket. I'm gonna go find a OEM one here in a minute and show you, but first glance, this tube going through the inside is thinner, and this is rock solid. There's the OEM one, and they did a good job reproducing it. It's pretty close. Bend this and see it move. This one, I can barely move that one. It's rock solid. So this one is definitely going to be softer. There is the OEM lid. This was the nicest one I can find. These are getting so rare. We have the filter on order. It's a filter that has the inlet hose attached to it. And then we have a new rubber hose for that. In fact, let me show you it because it's brand spanking new. There it is. Look at that. JDM. That's what those last digits stand for.
Let's not even take it out of the box.
I don't even want to take it out of the box. I might just put it in the trunk and send it to him and go, that's a brand new arm. Not even going to use it.
It might not run very well like this.
Don't even start it. Leave it in the packet.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. One of the other things is planned, or planned, it's already been approved by the customer. I'm going to do it next, is to refinish the calipers. These have been repainted and not particularly well. They've been all painted together. You can see the line is painted there. The rotors don't look particularly good. There's a step in the rotor right here and a step over there. The pads look decent, so somebody's probably just put a set of pads on it. Also, you can see it's got a shiny spot there, so the pad is grabbed in there where it didn't, so they're probably just new pads. We're going to put new rotors, new pads, and refinish the calipers and bleed the system. Of course, rebuild them, make them as fresh and as new as we can. Talking of years to come, this is our CRX. We did this one, I think 2 years ago now. Did the calipers in red, new pads, new rotors. And this is at a couple of trips to the Dragon. Look how nice the rotors still look. And I cooked these brakes one time chasing George at the Dragon. I think it's in one of the videos, but we stopped and there was smoke coming off here. I didn't over smoke them, but we got them pretty hot. This is how the bracket looks. I'm not going to show you all of our secrets, but we are going to strip this thing completely down and put new rubbers and pins and refinish it. I just wanted to show you right now what it looks like before I take it apart, or before I finish it. Obviously taking it apart as we speak. This is how this looks. There is different pins, so don't mix those up. So make sure, if you look, one is gold, one is silver. If you've never seen the Type R header, the US Type R header, this is what it looks like. The top section honestly looks the same. It does have this whacking gray bracket on here as opposed to the sheet metal one. This is on the Type R one only, it's a cast bracket. But the lower section is distinctively different. It almost looks like it's molded together. I think the tubes are larger, but if you look at this, the outside almost has a double skin. So it kind of joins them together. The the GSR, B16, LS, these are two separate pipes. It's noticeably different, but look at that. If you've never seen this before, it's kind of a rare piece. In fact, it's a very rare piece. We have a heat shield. We're gonna go ahead and refinish that. The heat shield bolts on here. It has 3 bolts that hold that on. We're gonna finish that. I think factory it came silver, right? Did that shield come silver or black on the Type R? I guess we're gonna have to look up.
Yeah, we'll look at some pictures and we'll paint it the right color.
Because this here is silver. You're not gonna see it, but it's just an inside heat shield. It just stops that heat reflecting into the block. This is the kind of thing that the factory do, that all the aftermarket companies just send you a header and they go, well, there you go. There's a reason why they do. Wow, this thing is heavy. There's a reason why they do this stuff. But there it is, the US Type R header. These just came in the mail. This is from this guy. We're not going to read the whole thing out, but we do thank you immensely for sending us stuff. We don't actually have the red CRX, but this will be repurposed. We'll find a customer that can use it, because when people give us stuff, we like to give it back. Wow, that's nice. Love the OEM look. Look at that OEM airbox, OEM header. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome. That was an original HF car because it's got the HF radio support. Like,
yeah,
that is awesome. Very cool. Thank you. That looks freaking awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Refinished cover, Type R manifold, nice new bolts, nice airbox tube. That is beautiful. It's like it came from the factory. Looks almost the same as when it left the factory. So we have the tire guy here, right here.
All right.
You want to come and see this? You know what this is?
No, something about K2 motor, no?
No, this is a B18. B18 C5. This is way before the K motors.
Oh, wow.
Old school.
Yeah.
It's probably before your time.
I don't know nothing about old
1998.
I'm new school.
All right, this is about the 4th time this guy has been here. Ooh. Let's not talk about that. So he's done like 4 sets for us now. He did the truck. He's done 2 or 3 cars. So do you want me to film you the whole time and make you nervous?
Do it when I'm not looking.
Yeah, you see, you'll get used to it after a while. If I keep bringing the camera out, you'll be all right with it.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
So this is what's going on. Falcon Azini's 205. Where's the size there? There's 205, 50, 15's great size tire. This is one of the brackets.
We're doing all this stuff?
Yeah. This is one of the brackets done. See, it's got the new boots in there. It's all finished. Looks pretty. So we're going to go ahead and start the engine, and fingers crossed we've got rid of the vibration with the few things that we've done. So we've got the new clutch, the balance flywheel, the crank pulley, the power steering pulley, the alternator pulley, the new airbox, manifold, and cat. We just changed the transmission fluid and engine oil and changed the driver's mount. And then, of course, we changed those 2 to the new belts. We're still working on this bit in the middle, but we're going to go ahead and start it. And fingers crossed, the vibration has gone. That's mainly what we're looking for here. It should be a little bit quieter because they said it was a bit noisy, which is mainly from the header being a thin wall material. You get engine noise through the header, which is one of the reasons Honda use cast upper manifolds, because they're quieter. Or in the later cars, they're dual wall tubes, so it quietens down that engine sound.
I don't know if the battery's on it. That.
Oh, it's not hooked up. We can fix that. Yeah. That's better. Oh, the brake rotor is spinning. Like, what in the heck is that? Like, what did you do? Left the brake rotor loose. So go ahead and leave a comment, leave a description, leave a like, or I don't know. You don't have to. Definitely sounds quieter though. So we have the new manifold, we have a new cat on it, we have the Type R exhaust. So it should be much quieter. But it's the vibration. Yeah, you can't feel it in the car at all. Just rev it. Oh, that's a relief. He's going to be so excited.
Yeah, if it won't make a noise, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, that is awesome. Good, we can check those things off our list. This was the main things he was concerned with, was the vibration. And of course, few things add up to a lot, which is what I talked about earlier. So the last thing to do is put the brakes back together, raise the car up to factory spec. We'll get some outside perspective on it, run them down the street, get some artistic shots so you guys can see how awesome an Integra Type R is. Like I mentioned, those other tires just looked gross. That on there just looks weird to me. It should go around the outside like these. I just think this looks cool when it goes around and the whole thing is full. It don't have a big smooth area like these. It reminds me of those old school tires. Beautiful. That tire was so nice on that rim.
Just get it up a little bit.
Perfect. Figured we'd show you it now, but the muffler has like a little bit of surface rust, and you can see where it's kind of flaked off. The tip is in decent shape. It's got a little bit of a flat spot where it's bumped the curb. I think we're going to take that off and refinish that because it makes a big difference, and I think he will really appreciate that. So here's a before right here. Look how nice that is. New rotor, new pads, refinished caliper. Next thing is to do the undercoat on that. We have to do a ton of masking to clean all the area, and then we're going to use the rubberized undercoat just to make that look nice and fresh and black and get rid of some of the paint underneath. And that will be pretty much the last of it. Then we're going to raise the car up, put the wheels on. Oh, so here, Stop Tech rotors with the black coating, and we went with Power Stop ceramic pads to try and keep the dust down because white wheels show every little bit of dust. So that should help keep those things clean. There's our wheels with the tires. I'm not sure if I showed you after they got done with them, but such a refreshing install to know that the tires are on and we don't have to send the wheels out for powder coating after the tire guy. This is all blacked out. We use the rubberized undercoat. Same thing on the back. Looks much better. And then the muffler, so much better when you finish it with a ceramic black, repolished the tip. Underneath there is the factory manifold. So this cat didn't have an O2 in the back, so we added it right there. Looks factory. We drilled the cat, added the bung, re-welded the shield back on so it looks factory. This was from an OBD1, but it was a nice low mileage cat. It was a factory OEM cat, which is what we're going for here. So I think we have pretty much fixed everything on his list. It did ask about the factory fog lights because this was cut for it. However, the only ones I could find were aftermarket. So that might be something to come back to. In the meantime, I think we're fixed everything on his list. The vibration is gone. It's smooth as silk. New brakes, all refinished. This one can go back on the ground. All right, back on the ground. We raised it up 1/2 inch all the way around. So it's not an exact adjustment the way this system is set up. There's not a different collar for the height versus the spring rate. So you're essentially preloading the spring and raising it that way. So 1/2 inch will sometimes give you an inch. Depends on how much you compress the spring. But we'll take it for a drive, check it, let it settle, and see if it needs a bit more adjustment. Right there, still looks a little bit low for his taste. This thing is so quiet. You forget how quiet and smooth they are when they're right. Just took it for a drive and it's settled. It's come down just a little bit. I think we're gonna go up another maybe 3/4 of an inch. So it's tough to get the height right on these because the spring rate is different than the height on most. This is all in one, so as you adjust that perch, it adjusts the spring pressure and it changes the height that way. So it's never an exact science like it is on most coilovers. These are kind of an older system. They're fine, but we just got to get that height. This is what I'm referring to when I talk about the thread is increasing the spring rate as well as the height. So it's not an exact equation. It's not like you raise it 1/4 of an inch, the car goes 1/4 of an inch, because as you're raising this, you're increasing the spring rate and making the spring essentially stiffer. So you're raising it more than the amount you move it. So you might move it 1/4 of an inch, it might raise the car 1/2 an inch or 3/4 of an inch. It's kind of it's a bit of a guessing game. Oh yeah, that's much better. We'll go settle it, drive it, make sure it's good. Let the suspension squat down where it needs to be. So like I mentioned, these cars in stock form, they look a little bit 4x4-ish. It's so strange to drive one of these cars in stock form, because as cool as it is, it's not as dramatic as when you do a motor modification, but it's so fun and it's quiet. This is the smoothest I think you're gonna feel on an Integra Type R, because they're all modified, and this one is as close to stock as you're gonna get, apart from the suspension, and the suspension feels pretty slick. Look at the interior. It's literally deja vu, because I remember working on one of these cars brand new. In fact, my friend Scott bought a brand new one, and we were the first to modify one of these in our area. The first thing we did was cam gears, and it was in 1998, and his car had like 300 miles on it, something like that. We were putting cam gears on and cam gear tuning, slowly modified. Next thing was a Mugen header, Mugen exhaust, AM intake, short shifter, you know, all the premium parts for back in those days. But this thing is great. I almost want to do a quick brake bleed one more time. It's good, it's just not 100%. It's just got a little bit of squishiness. All right, so after double checking the brakes, now we are good. First gear. Now they're nice and solid and biting like they should do. So this one's done. We can put this one aside, put a cover over it, call him. I'm gonna suggest we do a color correction and ceramic coat on this one. I think it'd really benefit from it. Such a nice car, but taking it to the next level always makes a big difference. I mean, this is so nice in here. This is usually always trashed along here, and it is so nice. So nice to see one like this. Even though the paint is really good on this, taking it to the next level always makes a big difference. It was repainted, I think, in 21, he said. Again, it's really good until you get on it. It's kind of hard to see in this light. We're really overcast. We've got a storm coming in, but Jonathan is going to go ahead and take this thing to the next level, give it a wash, color correction, and then of course ceramic coat. We did ceramic pads on the brakes. We didn't go with OEM pads because the OEM pads dust really bad. The ceramic pads will help keep those wheels clean, because white wheels look so good, but they get dirty within literally an hour of driving. So that will help with that. And he's going to ceramic coat those wheels, which helps keep the dirt off. This is just dust on here. Once it has a nice ceramic coat, it's easy to keep clean too. You can literally just give it a light pressure wash and the dirt comes off. Yeah, you can really see it. So what you're doing is getting all that to be slick. This is your first pass, it looks better already.
Yeah.
So is white the worst color to polish, or black?
Black.
Even though black, you can see a big transformation immediately, and it's hard because you can't really see it.
It just shows way more than anything else.
Yeah. I don't know if this was one of those that you start polishing and you go, wow, I can't really see if I'm getting it until you're done, you know?
Yeah. You know, white, yeah, sometimes you got to put a light on it, you know, to really kind of see what you're getting.
Yeah. You know what, talking about light, let me put a fan on you.
All right, appreciate it.
That'll make it a little easier, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to really look into it. You can see the hood is actually, if you follow this dot right here on camera, you can see all the little scratches and imperfections moving. See that? It's very hard to see on white until you really know what you're looking for. Like I say, follow that dot and you can see the contamination in there. There's even like little dots of like solvent pop or something. Like I've shown this on the channel so many times. This was my Integra Type R, and it was my first cover on the magazine, which was a big deal because I sent pictures to the magazines for years and they just ignored me. Then all of a sudden they contacted me and said, hey, we want to see the Type R. They flew out, took pictures of it. They were so excited about it. it made the cover. This was my first cover. It was also my first 600 horsepower car I'd ever built. Now, this was obviously pulling out all the stops, all the tricks, running the fuel pump off the back of the alternator, you know, running the boost controller as far as we could go, you know, playing with the timing, get the timing as advanced as possible just to get that number. It was realistically a 600 horsepower. This was kind of like the dit at the end, if you've ever seen a dyno. Anyway, this was such a special car. If you don't get a chance, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and Google LHT Type R Turbo Magazine. This is the full article. It kind of explains how I came about this car and why it ended up like it did. This is something I've wanted to do over the years, is basically make LHT a one-stop shop. Within reason, we can handle pretty much everything except bodywork. But that way, we did the mechanical work, we installed the tires, we did the full color correction and ceramic coat by Jonathan, and it's a one-stop shop. That means he takes it home, it's done. He gets to love it and drive it and look at it and be a part of the Enjoy Your Car family, which is what we kind of have here. It's the people that watch our channel, it's the people that I talk to our shows, we all think alike. This is a super cool car. It's so nice to see it cleaned up and looking so good. I hope you enjoyed the channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget, hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit the share, hit the like. I will see you on the next video. In the meantime, enjoy your cars.